Miss Mahtab, we are live. The floor is yours. Yours. Miss Mahtab, you can start now. Miss Jacqueline, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
My apologies that we are facing a really bad internet in here. I don't know why, but we're trying to fix it.
It's okay.
So sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for waiting. We are having a bit of network problem from different regions, and our moderator from Afghanistan, I'm sure she will be joining soon. So meanwhile, let me introduce our mentor, Jacqueline. She is a beautiful soul from Lebanon, and she is mentoring us. Genuinely started as being an international speaker, and then she took her heart. She is genuinely helping us for the all working, not just women, for the working class to deal with different situations when you are working at a certain set of environment where you can deal with certain set of issues and you can keep progressing with your life. So thank you, Jacqueline, for your time. And we love your session all the time. And this time in the session with Miss Jacqueline, we are going to understand different focus areas like understanding the roots and characters of toxic work environment, the psychological, emotional, and professional impact of workplace toxicity, the role of leadership and organizational culture in developing or preventing toxicity, strategies for employees to set boundaries, seek support, and protect their well-being, empowering bystanders and allies to intervene and promote a respectful workplace, and working towards organizational accountability and reimagining workplace norms. So with this detail of the mentor program today, I'm giving the floor to mentor Jacqueline. Please, mentor Jacqueline, we all ears for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. So today, first, welcome everyone, and I hope you will enjoy the session. First, as we said, today we will discuss how to survive, stand up, and shape a healthier workplace. So, how many of us wakes up every day with a pit in our stomach just thinking about going to work? Maybe it was a boss, maybe it was a culture that punished honesty and rewarded silence. I'm sure many of us has the answer is yes, because I'm sure many of us have felt or lived such case. So to everyone there, you're not alone. Toxic workplaces are more common than we think. And today we're going to talk about how to face them head on. So years ago, I had many toxic work environments. I watched many brilliant teammates leave because of relentless gaslighting. I said nothing because I didn't know what to say. But that moment on, it taught me that silence is complicity and we must learn how to respond. So, in this session, we will discuss first what is toxicity, how it really looks like. Then, what are the tools to protect our mental and emotional health? And third, how we can influence change, whether we are an intern or a CEO, because change can be from the smallest person to the biggest person in any firm or in any business. So first, let's begin. What is a toxic workplace? It's not just about drama or conflict. It's a pattern of harmful behaviors that undermine well-being and productivity. It has common signs. There is passive aggression, there is gossip as currency, there is micromanagement, there is bullying or exclusion, there is disrespect of boundaries, there is burnout treated as a badge of honor, and all of these, they might be one, two, or maybe the group of them. Which signs have many of you personally experienced or witnessed? Type me later for any questions or for any stuff you already faced in your work environment. Why toxicity persists? First, because there is fear-based leadership. Many of us work and you have a CEO, a manager, any person in a higher hierarchy than you. So this fear will lead to mistaking control for competence. Then we have the lack of accountability. And third, we have the bystander culture. This is where we freeze or look away, assuming someone else will handle it. So in many firms, in many businesses, we see a bad behavior or we are treated in a bad behavior. We say, let me be silent. Maybe one day someone will talk on my behalf. And this is so not true. And maybe that someone will never come. And maybe like the way we are thinking and we are afraid of talking, all other employees, they will have the same mentality. And believe me, based on my 20 years of experience in the working domain and in the field in many jobs, believe me, let me say 80% of employees, they're too afraid to talk, too afraid. And in many times, they get involved with the manager to make another person or another employee life even worse because they're afraid of the person higher than them. And this, it has a hidden cost. First, for the individuals, they will have anxiety, they will have depression, they will have physical illness, and they will have imposter syndrome. To the company, it will maybe have a high turnover, but it will have a bad reputation and low innovation. So, toxic work culture is the #1 predictor of resignation above a pay or workload worldwide, according to many statistics done. So, this is a small introduction to toxicity and to elements that lead to make it worse. Okay? So, what we should do? First, we should protect our mental health. We should learn to set boundaries. For example, I have a meeting with my manager at 10 a.m. It's already 10:30. It's already 11. And I'm waiting. First, I wasn't notified that this meeting was postponed. Second, this is disrespectful because as an employee, I respected the time of the meeting. I was present there and no one notified me that it will be late. I shouldn't say it's okay, let me wait, I'm too afraid to say about it. We shouldn't be afraid. In a very professional and calm way, we send a message. We say, you are 30 minutes late. Are we still having that meeting? Because if we are not still having it, may I please go back to my working hours, to my working schedule, because I still have work to do. And we wait for the response. Because once we stay silent about any behavior or we remove boundaries, believe me, it will become a habit. And when we talk about it, we will look wrong. But the moment you face something you know is disrespectful, you know it's not among the boundaries, we should talk about it in a very professional manner, in a calm and respectful way. And this will wake up the person in front of us and he will feel guilty because he didn't notify us or he didn't respect also our time in that meeting. Second, we should document everything. We should keep emails, incident logs, timelines, especially if there is a good HR team involved. If we have everything documented, we can protect ourselves from any accuse or from anything that they might use against us just to be toxic. So we should learn to use these tools. And we should try to have someone in the company, especially in the HR team, or another employee who have ethics and who might be a support for us, who we can talk to him regularly about what's happening, who we trust that one day this person will also be a witness. This is as a first part. And there is a very good technique we can use in speaking up. It's called the bystander toolkit. It uses the 3 Ds. First, distract. So if there is a subject that doesn't align neither with the company, neither with my norms, neither with my ethics, I should change the subject or pause the interaction. 1. 2, delegate. If I'm being requested for something, not among my authority, not among my rights, or not belonging to my job description at all, I can simply delegate someone with authority to get involved. Third D is direct. We should call out behavior respectfully. For example, in a meeting, no one is allowing X to talk. We should say, let's make sure everyone gets to speak. We should always play a role. If we see someone being put in a toxic situation or being ignored, even if we are the lowest employee in the company as hierarchy, we can simply say, let's make sure everyone gets to speak, for example. Let's allow every one of us to share his knowledge, to share his opinion. First, we put a light on everyone and help someone in fear, not able to talk. And second, we are helping even step by step in creating a more not toxic environment, a more environment where everyone will communicate, where everyone is respected, where everyone is recognized for whom they are. Because I'm sure if companies realize that the smallest employee till the biggest employee, each one of them, they have experience, they have knowledge, they have respect, they have ideas that should be shared. And maybe this will change a lot in the company, and this will push the company forward. But unfortunately, in many cultures, employees, especially small employees, no one cares about neither their opinion, neither what they want. This will lead us to this point. We should be the culture we want to work in. Even if we are not in a leadership role, we have influence, believe me. We have influence in the team we work. We have influence in the colleague just sitting right to us. Culture is shaped by everyday behaviors, not just by policies or management. So how to be the culture we want to work in? First, we should lead with respect and kindness. We should be inclusive in meetings. As I told you previously, let's hear from X. Let's listen to his idea. Can you please give us more input about your idea? We should give credit generously. Who among us doesn't need a nice word? Who among us doesn't need, even if he did something really small, to say, oh, thank you so much. What you did was very well appreciated. What will cost us as normal employees if we say to our colleague, oh, thank you so much. You did this job perfectly. You did it in a great way. These small words, this credit, believe me, It will give energy and motivation the whole day for the person next to you and will make the environment more friendly. We should avoid gossiping or sarcasm because it will only hurt the person next to us. This is what it will do. It will only lead to more toxic environment. Even the person next to us is wrong. Maybe he's doing something wrong. Of course, I'm not talking about crossing ethics. I mean, in the way he looks and the way he talks, something that doesn't affect the work. We should avoid gossiping and sarcasm because it will lead to even more toxic work environment. Second, we should normalize feedback and emotional intelligence. We should give and ask for feedback calmly. For example, what's one thing I could do differently to support this project better? Me, if I ask that question in that calm way, in that respectful way, everyone will listen to me. Everyone will think how we can use that employee I have to make this project better. We should also learn to apologize when needed because accountability builds trust. If we are humble, if we listen to each other, if we do a mistake, whoever we are, and we simply apologize, this will make us more trustworthy, will show us in a better image. Third, to make the culture we want in our work, we should support others' boundaries. For example, if they're overwhelmed or unavailable, we should respect it. We should respect it, and we shouldn't glorify burnout or overwork, because who overwork or who are I don't know, giving more than they should give, at some point this is not healthy. Maybe there is a project, maybe there is something we need, something urgent, but most of the time working overloads, working more than what's needed for us, and you come and glorify it and say, oh, they worked a lot, and now the person next to you will want to work a lot, and he put himself in stress, he will put himself in a situation that will lead to his health to be in a worse shape just because we glorified that. This is not healthy. In life, we should work smartly, not hardly. Not hardly. We should be smart, and we should never ignore that we are here in this life also to be happy, to enjoy our health, not to put all our health in where it's not needed. It's not needed. Every work has its own job description. Respect that job description, respect the time, the schedule, the daily schedule, the daily working hours, and everything will go smoothly. Working overtime, overloading yourself will only lead me, believe me, for your own bad mental health and physical health. The company will simply replace you. None of us is not replaceable. We are all replaceable. From me to everyone there working in people's companies. The company, they only care about your outcome. And they will only pay you for what you agreed on. If you work more, believe me, no one will care. Maybe they will applaud and thank you so much, but this will not be healthy, neither for you, neither for your family who is waiting for you back home. Fourth, we should recognize and celebrate. We should celebrate small wins and big wins. I told you, maybe a simple thank you note in a group chat or in the company group will give huge motivation to each one of us, because positivity is contagious and it gives a moral boosting for everyone around us. Fifth, we should speak up calmly and clearly. If something feels off, we should address it, as I told you previously, respectfully. everything addressed respectfully within a calm manner will be heard. Imagine you are fighting with someone, okay? You're screaming, the other party is screaming. None of you will hear the other point of view, and anger will be the master. And in my previous sessions, I told you, no manager in the world will accept an employee to talk to him in a bossy way or to force him in his opinion. This will never work out. If you're smart, you talk in a smart way, in a calm way, in a respectful way. This is your key to success, to convince the person in front of you that he did something wrong and he should change it. Bottom line, you don't have to wait for HR or leadership to make a change. Every positive action we take, even small ones, they shape the environment around us. As the saying goes, culture is what happens when no one is watching. Be the reason someone feels safe, valued, and seen at work. So, toxic work environments don't fix themselves, but we can protect our peace, uplift others, and be a catalyst for change no matter what is our role. So, reminder, every one of us should take one action today. They should set a boundary, they should check in on struggling teammate, and they should ask their team, what's one thing we can do to feel safer and more respectful at work? Because small acts build a powerful change. Thank you. Maheen?
Hi, Jacqueline. I was actually going through some of
Yes.
the questions.
Yes.
There's a lot of comments, so I'm just looking through the questions. I got one question from Yash. Yash, if I'm not wrong. I think it's Yash. So Yash is
Yes.
asking, what early signs do we look for that may indicate workplace is becoming toxic?
Look, early signs, look, this depends where you're working, what kind of environment you're working in. But the moment you start working and you know very well what is your job description, you know very well what are your working hours, and after 1 or 2 weeks you got familiar with this working environment, and this is when you will start, you will maybe يعني go smoothly with that work, or you will start seeing stuff that doesn't align with what was agreed on. Maybe they start asking you to stay more time, which will be for free. Maybe they will talk to you in a not a very respectful way. Maybe you will be in meetings where no one even asks for your opinion. Believe me, these small signs and alerts, everyone will feel them, because when it comes to self-respect, none of us will not notice that it's been threatened. No one. Any one of us, when working in any working environment, when a simple word that doesn't align with our norms, that doesn't align with what's agreed on in the work, we start seeing it, we will notice and we will know. And this is what I said. These small signs, even the smallest situation you are put yourself into it, and you know this doesn't align with you. You don't go home in your head saying, okay, let me be silent, let me not mention it, maybe it happened only for one time. No, please, 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 on the spot, reply, as I told you, professionally, calmly, and ask what they meant and why they said it in that way. You cannot speak up from the first time? Send a simple email, a very professional, simple email expressing that what happened, it doesn't align with this and this and this, and what did I do so I was talked to that way. Believe me, once you do like that, it will become a habit. Yani if they want to talk to you or to tell you something that doesn't align, they will know that you will reply. They will know that this employee won't accept it. Never forget, they employed you because they need you. They need you. If they don't need you, they won't employ you. So as much as you need your job, the company also needs you, because it's not that easy to re-employ, to retrain, to get someone new and begin from scratch. No one will like that. So in a very calm, professional manner, please don't ignore even small signs that you will know, and only you will know, everyone on his own area, that this doesn't align with a healthy work environment.
I agree, Jacqueline. I agree. Because, hiring is a tough process and it takes a lot of time and resources. So everybody wants to
True.
save that. True, true. But eventually, what you're saying that if they go out of the strategy, which everybody they claim this is our strategic plan, this is our policy, we work around these areas. If they go south, so that means they are moving towards somewhere which will discomfort you for a very long time. Very long time. True
True.
that. True that.
True.
All right. With this, we have another question from Tahmina, and she is asking you that, in your opinion, what impact does a toxic environment have on mental health and professional growth, especially for women?
Okay. Imagine, I told you, imagine waking up every day with a itch in your stomach because you're going to work. Imagine going back from work every day, feeling sad, feeling hurt, feeling doing something that doesn't align with anything you've learned in your family, in your school, in your area. It doesn't align with anything. And all the time, you're only thinking of it. And all that pain from thinking of it is progressing. It's getting worse. This, as we all know, will higher the level of cortisol in our body. We all know the cortisol that everyone in the world is trying to, to lower it. So imagine that element God created inside of us, that cortisol that is used, that God created for us to protect us. And when we are under stress and when we are working in a bad working environment every single day for minimum 5 days per week, this cortisol will become way higher. And when it becomes way higher, as you know in science, it will start fighting you. It will start fighting your body. It will start attacking the weaknesses you have in your body. It will bring you sickness. You don't know where this sickness will come. Believe me, I've been there. I suffered from stomach problems for the last 10 years. I used to take like 5 or 6 medicines per day because of all the stress and all the tension I lived from. It all went there. I couldn't eat. I became very thin. I couldn't sleep well. Even water I couldn't drink because of what I lived. And still now, I'm, thank God, way better. But I'm still treating myself in a less way. But it's still there. I ruined my health because I stayed silent. I couldn't speak. I was too afraid. So it will also affect our mental health. And if we have kids, if we have families, we cannot concentrate with them. We don't have a clear mind. clear. Our mind is not clear because it's thinking what will happen tomorrow. It's thinking how I will survive the other day. So it will affect our mental and physical health, both of them. And no one needs that. Money is not worth. Money is needed, but it's not worth our health. Nothing is worth our health. Nothing.
I agree with you, Jacqueline. Very beautifully said. And also, I would like to add one thing, Jacqueline. I hope you agree with me, is that anybody who is working, for example, if you are working for first 5 years of life, then you move towards, experiencing towards 10 years of your professional life, keep your expectations real. Do not try to do a lot of things at once, once I truly agree with Jacqueline that once you are disturbed, the rooted area where you are meant to do work, you want to help and serve your loved ones. You won't be able to do that, and you will feel disturbed because we all are human, we are not machine. And
صح.
when we are disturbed, our world is disturbed. And every time, whenever I have a space, when we sit for a cup of coffee or tea, we have a conversation with everybody. Even we all sit together and we try to remind ourselves that, look, we should not chase a lot. We should slow down a bit. And we should have real, goals, achievable goals, not running
صح.
towards everything. So, if you're not in line, you will not get anything in line, and people will use you
True.
because you are fogged,
True.
you are not designed, and people will use you. And this is a very, very bitter position. Very well said,
True.
Jacqueline. There is another question by Tuba, and she is asking you, Jacqueline, that how to show your value to your company when you are doing major task clearly, but your supervisor gets the credit. Oh, that's the drama. Please, Jacqueline. I really want to hear this.
Yes. Yes. Look, yes, I've been there too. I used to do all the hard work, and the manager, he got the credit, not me. And no one even knew that it was me who did it. He only present my work, and he gets all the credit. He even got the bonus I'm supposed to get. Look, this is very hard situation, to be honest. You reminded me of it because you'll have no more motivation, and you won't be recognized, and no one even know you actually exist. And to tell you what I did at that time, when I started, I stayed silent for many years, by the way. And every year we get the end of year bonus, and he used to get it. I didn't used to get anything, and I was doing all the job. So by one time, I decided that we had a meeting, and there was the higher management there, the higher that we don't see, but only like once per year. And I went to see one of the CEOs, and I introduced myself and which branch I was working and for which manager. And I said, hope you liked this project outlines and everything. He said, the project X presented. I said, yes. I said, how you know about it? I said, I'm the one who did it. And he was like shocked, you're the one who did it. Why he never and why he never mentioned you? And why he never put you in the emails? And why he never mentioned that to give the credit to that person? He was completely surprised. And on that day, after like only like 1 week, I got a promotion. And that manager was called from the HR, and he got a notice letter because what he did was unethical. And that year I got a bonus also. It made me feel so happy and proud. But for years I didn't talk. I was too afraid to talk about the person higher than me, and I didn't have the chance to meet with the higher management. So sometimes, according to the hierarchy of the company, or according to how the company is divided, sometimes the only person you see is the person higher than you. And if he is toxic, you will wonder how to do it, how to make myself noticeable. That's why I mentioned earlier, we can get to know people higher, or if we can get to know another colleague who might be our key, who might be someone who will lead us if we won't have the chance to talk it out. Because maybe me, if I didn't go after 3 or 4 years to that meeting, and if I didn't see that CEO, I wouldn't have the chance to talk. I had that chance, but not everyone will have it. Not everyone will have it. And I always say, I also mentioned it in my previous sessions, don't stick in one job. Always look forward. Always use this experience. If no one is seeing your experience, put it in your CV. But go to LinkedIn, search for jobs. Who knows what's waiting for you there? Who is way better than the one you already have? So if you don't have the way to show yourself, you don't have the colleague that will post you, that will show you that this is you who did it. Always, even if you have that someone, you have knowledge, you have experience, you are doing a great job. Maybe there waits another opportunity where you will be more recognized, because of course there is healthy work environments. Of course there is companies that appreciate employees, and maybe they're waiting for you ahead. So never bury yourself somewhere where you're not shining, because I'm sure everyone in his domain, everyone in what he learned, in what experience he has, he can shine. Every single one of us.
Thank you, Jacqueline. True. Highlighting, it's very important. Kandi has two interesting questions, Jacqueline.
Yes.
She has one question, like, how can one deal with exploitation on online work? And she has second question that how to build boundaries at workplace. Who find it difficult building boundaries normally?
Okay, can you please repeat only the first question?
Okay. How can one deal with exploitation on online work, remote working?
Deal with what?
Exploitation, problems when toxic environment, misusing
But
your
it's a
time.
remote job?
Yes,
It's a
a remote
remote
job.
job?
Yes. And setting the boundary, looking at that when it's
Yes.
difficult for a
Also
person.
in a remote job?
Yes, also a remote job.
Yes. Usually in remote jobs, there isn't much interactions with other employees, as far as I know, right?
Usually, yes, but I think she is sitting at the
She has.
work, maybe. Yes.
Yes. Look, I have an experience of a friend of mine. She's a good friend. She was working for the last 3 months in a remote job, and she just quit. She quit like 2 days ago. She dealt with a very toxic work environment, and she couldn't set boundaries with the colleagues. So, like that question, it fits perfectly with that situation. So when she first started working with them, everyone was nice, everyone was welcoming. And after like 5 or 6 days, يعني the true image of all these women she's working, they were all women, by the way. All the women she was working with, they started to show their true inner selves. So they started giving tasks she's not supposed to do them. يعني that person, for example, X, she's supposed to do that report. She said, "Look, can you please do it?" So she didn't know, and she really needed that job. They started giving her tasks that doesn't belong to her. One, this is the first boundary they crossed. Second, they started also asking her to work more than her schedule is till 5 p.m. Can you stay till 6? Can you stay till 7? We have a customer, we need to do it with it. And it's also not part of her job description. And this is when all started to accumulate. And one day خلاص she couldn't handle it, and I was next to her, and she was telling me everything what's happening. So I wanted to give her advice, and first she sent an email asking for a meeting. She sent an email asking for a meeting, And she said 1, 2, 3 that I cannot do that. This is not among my options. I cannot work like that. And unfortunately, the manager, she agreed with the other team. Yani the other team, they're there from long time ago. She said, this is the way we work. You like it, you go on. You don't like it, simply leave the job. And they evaluated her in a very bad way. So when she asked for boundaries, and when she gave the spot on these bad behaviors, they didn't like it because they are toxic and they won't change. So she simply resigned. She left her job after 3 months. I told you, usually in remote jobs, you don't interact, but this job, she has interaction with like 8 or 7 employees. And what they did is only using her. This is what they did. They want to use her. She's the new, let us use her to do the job we are supposed to do. And when she spoke about it, they refused and said, this is the way we work. And it seems you don't fit with us. So she simply resigned. يعني also it affected her health. يعني she wasn't sleeping right, she was feeling very sad, especially she left a job to go to this job. So it was a very bad experience, but she didn't stay. She didn't accept. يعني she waited for like 2-3 months. She spoke up in a very nice manner. They did a meeting, and they remained toxic with her. They won't change, so she left.
Eventually, yes. Yeah. It's tough out there, though. All right. So, Jacqueline, we have one more question from Tamina, and she's asking where she look for the red flags when she is doing the job interviews. So for that, if it can be a toxic work environment during the interview.
During the interview, we can know if it's toxic. She's asking.
Yes. What are the points
Yes,
that
sure.
she should? Yeah, please.
Sure, you can know. Sorry, I keep on giving experiences I had, but I think they can be realistic and more convincing. So like 3 or 4 months ago, I was contacted via LinkedIn for a job. So I started doing like 2 or 3 interviews. Then they sent the job description, and it was like 3 or 4 pages. It was a huge job description. They wanted to make a new company in Lebanon. They're from Australia. They wanted to make a new company from Lebanon, and they wanted me to handle it, and to handle it from scratch, and to build that company in Lebanon, and all the rules, to hire employees, everything, because it's my domain. So I was very interested. Maybe it's a good opportunity. I did like 2 or 3 interviews online. And then the owner, they came to Lebanon and they wanted to meet me personally. And this when all shifted. Yani. First, we agreed like on this working hours, they start saying, maybe you will have to go to a very far village from mine. And this, we won't cover the fuel, for example. And maybe you will work at night. There will be night shifts. All this wasn't mentioned in the job description. And then we went to the salary part, and this was the surprise. They offered, I even told them, I stood up and said, this is the most disrespectful offer I've ever had in my life. So they offered like a salary we give, I don't know, I don't want to seem disrespectful, but what they give to no one, and even someone to answer the phone won't accept that salary. And they said, no, it's too much. And for you in Lebanon, it's too much, that salary. It's like I'm no one. So this was very clear that they were a toxic person, that they are only using the person in front of them. They're not only using me, they're using also the situation in our country. They know we're going through crisis. So they say, this is your worst, yani, this is too much we're offering. So yes, if this company is from the beginning, they give you this job description, and in the interview, they're asking for more, and they're saying, maybe you will do this, and maybe you will do that, and maybe you will work overtime. They're showing you their true self, but this rarely happens, unfortunately. not every time. يعني most of companies, they show how professional they are from in the meetings or in the interviews or the first months they hire you. No one shows their true selves. Even when you meet any person in life, a friend, he will show the best of him. No one will show you the worst. The worst will show with time, with the relationships, with experience, with stuff we are stuck in, and we know what kind of people they are. This is when the environment shows. But with me, it happened. They show their toxicity from the first real interview, face-to-face interview.
Nice. Well delivered, Ms. Jacqueline. We're moving towards the next question from Yash, and he's saying that if someone witnesses toxic behavior but isn't directly affected, what's the right way to respond?
Yes. This is, for me, this is even worse from us being treated disrespectfully and being silent of it. Imagine you are treated very well, but your colleague is facing toxic work environment. This is what I try to say, to build the culture we want to be inside, and each one of us can do it. First, if we have any link to higher management, we should report it. Report it in a secret, professional manner, and no one to know who actually reported it, if it's possible, of course. Second, we should be a backup for that employee. I told you, small gestures, small words, maybe putting light on him in meetings, even if he's being under toxicity. This will give him a push and power. This will give him push and power from the other side. If we are next to him, if we notify him that we know you're being treated bad, we are next to you, we are giving him good vibes, a thank you, an appreciation. This first will give him motivation. But second, the most important, we should report it. We should never manipulate any toxic work, toxicity toward any colleague or in the company. This will lead to more toxicity. If we remain silent, maybe our turn will be next.
Yes. In this way, I don't know how to explain that, Jacqueline, but the drama you need to handle is the way you should mirror them so that they know exactly that the other person understand their game. So if you show them you understand their game, but you are being respectful for a time being, but you're cautious, I think this is something we all must learn how to communicate. Something verbal, something non-verbal gesture, give them a complete, scenario that other person is not a fool. So please do not keep yourself in a position that they take you as a fool.
True.
Yeah. So understand that when you are in professional life, your job description is everything. The respect you get is due to your job description.
True.
Nothing else. All right.
True.
Okay. So
True.
we have another question from Shiamo, and she is saying that how can one manage a toxic WhatsApp work group, such as coworkers are silent instead of supporting a colleague's opinion?
So she's saying if she's in a toxic group on WhatsApp?
Yeah, it's a work group in WhatsApp where they usually communicate and work together, but the colleague are not supporting what she's leading, so they are silent. So silence gives a lot of answer, no, Jacqueline?
Yeah, but let me understand well. There is toxic people among that group, or there is people they are left silent and no one is hearing them.
It's a toxic work group in WhatsApp, in which co-worker are usually silenced. Instead of supporting colleague, they are silenced and they're not showing interest, in fact.
Okay. If this group if she's part of that group, If first I told you, if anything it could be reported, it should be reported to higher management, unless there is higher management in that group. If they're only co-workers and one is being toxic to the other, she can very simply, if these employees are like her, they're not someone who can affect her position, and she's not talking anything against the company policy or against the rules in her country. She should speak loud. She should speak loud in a very good and nice manner. That's, I don't accept this. I don't agree with this. You're not allowed to do this according to this law and this law and this law. Or if it can be simply reported. It can be simply reported. And if that group is not responding, simply leave it. If it doesn't, if it's not a must or a need for the job, why being part of it? It's only giving more headache.
Okay, there's another question from someone who has not renamed themselves Jacqueline. It's very close to what we're discussing right now. The person is saying that I cannot be a root in case of facing a toxic behavior, but that disturbs me mentally. What response I shall give?
Yeah, and she said she's facing a rude situation, or she doesn't want to look rude when replying.
Yes, she doesn't want to look rude, but she is facing a clear, toxic
Yes.
response. Yes, from the other hand.
She shouldn't be rude. It won't work for her. Being rude in responding it will make the situation even worse, unfortunately. I earlier mentioned we should reply in a professional, calm manner. This is how we should reply. For example, what you just said, it hurt me and I didn't like it. Or what you just said, it doesn't align with what we're working on, or it doesn't push this company forward, and it will affect the way I feel and my motivation. We can respond in a very different way than being rude will only make us look like them. We will be like them. What's the difference? We're talking, we're using their way, and they're more, if we are people who respect ourselves, if we talk in a rude way, this is not our game, but it's their game. So they are more powerful than us. So they will even reply in a more rude way, and they will be even more toxic. But if you talk nicely, professionally, to anyone, stay calm, take a deep breath, and mention what hurt you in a very calm manner, professional manner, and believe me, it will work out. If it doesn't work out the first time, the second time it will work out, because the second time that person will think before addressing for you any behavior that will hurt you, because he knows you are noticing that you are being hurt and you are not afraid to talk it, and you didn't disrespect him even though he was disrespectful. That will make him feel that little.
And yes, and the moment you lose your composure, that means the other side has already won their game. So please do not lose your composure. The more composed you are, that means you are actually winning. So,
True.
but do communicate, but do not lose your composure, not at all. So flush the part which call yourself emotional. Just you have to be very composed when you are leading something and you're presenting yourself. So we have last question, dear Jacqueline, from
Yes.
Tuba, and she is saying that what to do when your colleagues, female and male both, act like they are being friends to you, but mock you on your weight, call you crazy, and plus your supervisor also does this, and your manager knows this.
Yes. This Unfortunately, maybe I thought it only happens in Lebanon. In Lebanon, they gossip a lot, yani, and the first when you meet anyone, yani, like you didn't see for 2 weeks, the first thing they say, "Oh, you gained weight, or you look older, or whatever. Your hair color is not nice." I thought this environment mainly is in Lebanon. Maybe other countries they don't care about that. Look. There is something I was taught when I was a child is the only trust in this life the people who raised you, and later on your first family, your husband or your kids, and not to trust anyone, because no one is trusted, and no one will really want the good for you, especially in a working environment. Everyone they want their own interest. Okay, so these people will always exist, and they are everywhere. And for you to meet someone who really love you and he's not jealous of you, this is practically impossible. In work, there is competition. There is someone who will look more attractive, more smart, more whatever. This person, they will find something to attack him in any way. They will pretend they're friends, and the moment you turn your back, they will start talking about you. It's okay. Be happy about it. Be happy. You're being noticed. You're not someone normal. If you were normal, no one will talk about you. If you are not a threat, no one will talk about you. If you are not a real competitor, no one will notice you or talk about you. These people will always exist. In contrast, be happy. Be happy. You're being noticed. Even they're talking bad, because this is how they are, the truth of them. So rule number one, never trust anyone. Yani have friends, but only to talk stuff that not personal stuff, that will never be used against you. One. Two, they're talking about you because you're special, because you're different, because you're a threat. So be proud of that. I'm different. If I were like them, if I were someone normal that will never affect them, no one will notice me, and no one will notice if they're noticing I gained weight. Wow, they are watching me all day, and they noticed I gained weight. If they wasn't watching me, no one will notice. So be proud of that and put it behind your back. You are being noticed. They talk about you positively or negatively. Who cares? You're not someone normal. If you were normal, no one will see you.
Yes, and always take it as a compliment and do not show that you're being upset. So it's the
True.
comments,
True.
how you're looking, how you have changed, something close to you, dear to you. They try to, give comment in order to break you or keep you off track from where you're going. So you have to be very diplomatic when you are hearing such conversation,
True.
laugh it out. If you take it
True.
seriously, so they will play this game and they will enjoy it. So don't give them that
Exactly.
stage. Yes. So play,
Exactly. But
yeah,
if you
play the
start ignoring it, if you ignore it and you're happy and you're so normal, they will be tired of doing it, and they will feel they're stupid of doing it, and they will simply
exactly.
stop.
Yes, yes. All right. So we are spilling all the beans, Jacqueline. Oh my God. All right. So now,
Thank you.
okay. All right. So yeah, I'm taking the last question and then I'm going to conclude because we have taken a lot of your time. Yash is saying that how can I, as a mental health intern in some organization, sensitivity approach discussion about workplace toxicity with response during survey or interviews?
Please, may you please repeat
Okay.
the question?
He is a mental health intern, Jacqueline, and he want to approach a different organization, keeping the discussion about the topic workplace toxicity that you are taking, right? And he wants to
Yes.
conduct this discussion in different organization with the help of He's saying, should I do it with the help of survey or should I go with interview? Which way would be better to collect such information?
He want to collect information about toxic
Yes,
work environment.
and also talk
So
about it. Yes.
okay, he's suggesting two different ways of how to do it.
Which way is better? He should go with the survey only, or he should include interviews as well, or just interview would do that thing.
I If he can go with both, because, surveys are very good. And surveys, of course, they show a big part of the truth. But when you align it with interviews, you will get real life stories. And maybe you will know stories that you never know they exist. Believe me, life is all related to every personal experience in life. They say life is a school. So surveys, their numbers, their opinions, they're general, they're not deep. For me, they're not deep. What's deep is when you hear others, what happened to them. When you hear others talking with honesty on what they're facing, what they're feeling. This is what's deep. This is what will make it more realistic, more convincing, more approachable.
True. And also, Jacqueline, like the way in the beginning you said, keep looking for the new opportunity. And whenever, Yash Beta, you will be taking interview or conducting survey, you will hear people who are staying for the longer run in any organization, they are suffering the most. Okay, so those who are taking short journey with organization, like 2 years in one, you take complete contract, then move with another organization, they are growing as well. Their connection is strong as well. They have no problem mostly they have no problem within the organization, because their focus is more towards get the skills, I have to move one more step, get the skills, I have to move on. So they keep the conversation not in a best friend way, but best professional way. So they do not deal with drama more. They stay away from the drama. So all the young ones who are here, I would deeply suggest you to work on communication in which you stay away from the drama. Not everybody can be your friends. Especially professional people cannot be your friends. Take them as your competitor, believe me. Please trust me, they could be good people, but if you have same interest, okay, and you're working for the same interest, similar set of people competing for one position, you will see the real face then. Okay, so please focus on your skills, focus on the steps so that you feel less, because you get affiliated with the organization more. The organization and the people are not looking at me. It's not that way. They are there for the looking results from you. If you're not showing results, obviously they will move on. They will not ask what's going on with your personal life. They are there to see the goals done. So please do not take the work environment as your family, as your friend, but take it as goal for your professional life and for your professional development, so that you do your job, get professional conversation, and just keep moving forward. It's very important. And most of I'm talking about South Asian, not my experience in Africa was beautiful. My experience in UAE is beautiful, but I'm telling about South Asian countries where I'm working. There is a problem, Jacqueline. The problem is that we start calling elders like brother and sisters, or uncle, auntie, and the work profession aura disappears. Because they can stomp on you because you're regarding them with age, and they will play with you regarding with age. So please do not give them that thing. And this really hurts in the longer run for the younger people. Okay, for us it's not a problem. We have reached that age. We are enjoying our seats. But for the young ones, if you're feeling the most because you're giving them more liberty, please don't do that. Okay, so then you will have your peace. So this is some things that I have faced. I hope you will not face it. And it really hurts, because when you're new, you are very pure-hearted, but it hurts.
Yes.
It really does hurt.
It hurts a lot.
A lot.
It hurts a lot.
Yeah.
I remember days I used to go to the toilet and simply cry because I never know they will stab me in my back. I still have that good heart. I will never exchange it. I'm just more aware and more experienced. That's only, but that good heart I will never change. I remember days what you're talking. I used to go to the toilet in my office and simply cry, wipe my tears, and go back to work because I was shocked with their behavior. And I thought they were like brothers or sisters.
So exactly. So you have to, secure your peace, find your peace. Just Yes, because
True.
out there world is crazy. Just look for your aim, look for your peace, look for the output. So that is a win-win
Yes,
situation for both the side, and you are at peace. So it's very
true,
important. Do not expect anything else. So if you're lucky,
true.
you will find good people on the way, but usually it's very hard because competition is real out there. So yeah, that's true. Okay.
True.
So with this, my dear Jacqueline, we love having conversation with you. And when I look at the
Thank you.
chat, everybody is giving their personal, experiences. Everybody is opening up, and this is beautiful. This is really beautiful,
Thank you.
Jacqueline. Thank you for this.
Thank you so much
Everybody
for
is
you.
trusting you, truly. And I would love to see all of you next time with our mentor again. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for taking out time. You are
Thank you.
yourself
Thank you for
so
your time
busy.
also. Hope you
No,
enjoyed.
you are so humble. Believe me, go and watch her profile, see how much wonderful things she is doing and how she is dedicating time for all of you. Please stay connected with your mentor. Talk to her in, inbox. Stay connected with her. She's always there to help you. And she's
Sure,
always there to guide you. Okay. So thank you,
sure. Thank
everybody,
you.
each and every one of you. I see so many familiar faces. Thank you so much for joining in again, beautiful people.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, and we will catch you guys next month, same time with Mentor Jacqueline. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Thank you.